Like many of the greatest artists throughout history, Frazetta seems to be very comfortable in any medium he chooses, from sculpture to painting to watercolors to pen and ink to pencil.
You know, watercolor is such a difficult medium, and to master it and use it deftly and delicately the way he does, you know, it takes. I think artists appreciate that kind of thing.
I can't say I have a favorite, but if I must, I suppose oils are the most satisfying. They seem to be the most important for some reason, and longest lasting. But I have more fun, I suppose, actual fun, when I'm working in pen and ink or drawing in pencil or working in watercolor. There seems to be a very casual, fun approach there. Oils you tend to take very seriously, and it becomes work.
You look at a Frazetta painting and you think, oh, well, that must have taken weeks. Frazetta's ability, from what I've gleaned in speaking to Frank and Ellie Frazetta, is that so many of the most famous paintings that Frank Frazetta ever did in his life were done in one night.
Most of the paintings that you see, the really good ones, were done as fast as you could shake a stick.
Especially, of course, they gave him like a month deadline, and he'd wait till the last second, and he'd go at it, and he's in the morning, he's there with a hairdryer.
He would be on a deadline, and I can remember Mom, you know, Frank, it's due tomorrow, and he would sit there and do a masterpiece in an evening. Put the coffee pot on, put the classical music on, and then it would be done.
That's right. That's the reason for it, is that Masonite was all I had. I had to go look around the house. Oh my God, there was nothing. And it had to be in the next morning. And so I found some board on the floor, and I ripped it up, I cut it in half, and I painted it, whack, just right on there. I painted that in about 5 hours, 6 hours at most.
So no, overnight doesn't impress me. Sometimes panic and fear and trying to get the deadline will make you do something. That doesn't mean it wouldn't have been as good as it is, and that's Frank's ability. He might have been underdoing how great it could have been if he took a week with it.
When he worked at an overnight job, finished the deadline in 8 hours, a Conan 15 hours, whatever it was, it burned him out so much. My mother said he couldn't really move for almost a week. Just drained him physically and mentally.
Till the end, it was like this. I was shocked, but they were done.
Frank is very conscious of the fact that this is his legacy. His paintings are his legacy. And if he's not 100% happy with a work, he has no problems with essentially destroying it and starting over from scratch.
I have, but none of those that are hanging, no. Not that. If they hang in, they hang in.
It's very interesting to find the older versions of his paintings and see how he's changed them. Usually they're much improved, but often they're not so much better, they're just different.
I don't know, I think something to his detriment, because I think there's some pieces I think weren't as good. Or at least, you know, it's a shame that he never had two pieces, so, you know, because they were both equally as good in some respects.
There's something about the original versions, and you can't get them back.
Yeah, remember the first one? I painted it in. Everything was in. Conan was in doing his thing. I had to get it in. I had to. I didn't like it, but I had to get it in.
And he said, you know, this painting, you know, it didn't come from the gut. He said, I had too much time to think about it.
And when I got it back, I painted it out, and painted a new face, a new Conan.
I posed him like this because everybody likes the arms from the first Conan painting. And I put that sky back there because they like the sky from another painting. And, you know, he said, you know, what I did effectively was I did a pastiche of everybody's favorite pieces of other paintings in this one picture, and it didn't work. And he was right.
You know, I did a few roughs, and finally I got that's the idea. I know I want, you know, a backward motion and pow, and that's it. That's all I needed.
But that's the mark of a great artist, isn't it? To have the confidence, right, to take what we would regard as a perfectly good piece, a respected piece, and change the entire structure of a character and replace it with something else is remarkable, isn't it?
But you know, the incomplete ones, they leave a lot to be desired, you know. And the rest, I can't think of anything I could do. But I mean that. You'll see for yourself. Try to pick out paintings find one that you say, yeah, I think this would have been better if you would handle it that way. I dare you. I dare you. I'd like to see you try that. And you can't do it. I couldn't.